Hey y'all. Hey friends. Okay. Y'all know the drill. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm about to put the camera on, but let me know if you can hear me okay. And then we'll get started talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. Let me go ahead and say hello in the comments, and then y'all can do the mic check for me. Hey, Miss Cookie Ray. Hey, Kenya. Hey, Rashunta Kennedy. Naturally Mar. Man, I love y'all. I love seeing all the mods. Hey Keisha. Hey Necey D. I struggle saying Necey D like that's not my name too. Hey T. She said we back, friends. I made sure my day was wrapped up and I cut my evening stroll early to be back on time. Girl, you could have strolled and you could have listened and we could have talked while you were strolling because that's what I'm about to do right after I finish this live. I'm about to go for a walk and then I'm gonna make some food because it's a really nice day out here. Hey, Miss Cookie Ray, Candidly K, Golden Baby, Adrienne. Okay. Y'all hear me. We good. We good. We good. We good. We good. All right. So first things first. Hold on. Let me come off camera real quick or come on camera real quick so I can update my friends because y'all know how we like to do. All right. Hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. We didn't been on a long hiatus, but this is the week that we starting back. It's April. Um, I'm almost 1 month post of having baby Snow, y'all. Okay, y'all's little internet cousin and niece and nephew is here. I've been posting like little snippets of her little legs and stuff like that on the Instagram story. I don't know if I'm gonna post her faces yet. I don't know. The friends of the channel know that I'm like weird about that because people be weird. Like you say that you don't like their favorite housewife. I say I'm glad that Robin is fired. And then next thing I know, somebody in my comments talking bad about me and my baby. And that's not gonna happen. Okay. So we gonna see. But we've been doing good, y'all. I've been keeping up with y'all on Instagram in the DMs, on my community wall post. And as far as the shows, it really ain't been given too much, y'all. It ain't been given too much. I've been watching Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard is actually pretty good. I'm trying to decide if I want to use Martha's Vineyard as the pregame for anything else, but I don't know. We kind of like at a weird season of talking about TV shows. Last time I came and talked to y'all, we talked about Who the Fuck Did I Marry? And then we also talked about Love is Blind, which is two things we usually don't talk about. Potomac is coming to an end after a long season of nothing. Okay. So we have part one, part two reunion. And to be honest with y'all, the way that this reunion was going, when they wrapped up the end of the episode, I was like, oof, good. We ain't got to do two parts. Like we can wrap this up in one. Me and Andy, we see each other because this season we really wasn't given like that. And I thought that that's what we were gonna do, but apparently not. We have another part. Y'all, it better not be three, but we have another part for sure. So, like I was saying, we're in this weird season of TV. I know Love and Marriage Huntsville is coming back. They got their coming soon commercial, but we'll see. We'll see. So the little update for friends is that we're doing good, and I'm back on YouTube this week, and we'll have to see what we want to talk about. So I need y'all's help to tell me what to talk about. I have been watching some documentaries, so that's always something that we could talk about. I just have to be in the mood for it. I watched Quiet on Set. And for those of you who like be around on the channel, y'all know that I work a 9 to 5 as well as doing YouTube. But right now I am on maternity leave. So I have time to watch TV. But for these past couple weeks that I've been off, I've just been watching Sister, Moesha, the Parkers, that type of stuff. So okay, let me see a couple of the comments. Let me see. Oh no. Necey D says that there are 3 parts to this reunion. Why? 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 Um, okay. Love says I give the season a 1 and the reunion a -5. Okay. Anybody else? What are we rating? Okay. Um, I think I'm gonna give the season a 1. I think the reunion part 1, I would like to give a 6. I would like to give the reunion part 1 a 6. What else? Um, I should host the reunion. I should host the reunion. I should. But I'm not for everybody. Everybody be like, oh, she's so monotone. She's so boring. Oh my gosh. So I don't know. I don't know. I like my peace. I like my little community of friends around here. Adrian says 2.5 for the season. Neri says -1. Carolyn says a 4. Oh, okay. That's generous. And Monique, hey girl, she says, I think Andy even rates the season a 1. I think so. I think so. As you can tell by the title of the video, I captioned the video "Makeup or Everybody Getting Fired." Y'all know I'm a Beyonce fan, and anytime somebody on her crew fucks up, the running joke is somebody getting fired. Okay, y'all didn't turn the fan on, y'all missed the light, somebody's getting fired. And Andy was very much giving somebody's getting fired by the end of this reunion. Now, y'all, to be honest, we could have let Robin go when she left Watch What Happens Live last season after not coming on the show and speaking about Juan. Okay, we could have left her right there. But for whatever reason, Andy decided to bring her back. And for me, I was like, why are we treating the Green Eyed Bandits, favorably? Why can they only talk about their kids for season on end, ruin people's marriages, talk about Juan, but Juan really not being an active participant in the show and still get invited back season after season after causing havoc on other people's lives? I wanted to know why. And I left Watch What Happens Live last season. I'm referencing when Robin came on and had to, speak for her actions. I left feeling disappointed, like Andy really wasn't hearing us. They acted like they was hearing us at the last reunion when they talked about colorism. And then Watch What Happens Live, he wasn't hearing us. But the reunion was definitely giving they're hearing us. And I'm gonna tell y'all just like this: Andy is not hearing us because they want to do what's right, because they want to make sure that they're not, showing favoritism to the in my Candace voice. Candace said to Gizelle, "You sit here with your white looking ass." Oh my gosh, it took me out. But they're not, doing what's right because the people who watch the show are complaining about it. Y'all, we complained about, the antics and the plots on the show for seasons on end. I would say probably starting with Monique, right? And they did nothing because we were still tuning in. But this season, many of y'all, including myself, were not tuning in at all. Or y'all would just tune in for the reviews. And I think that it's starting to hurt their pockets. Like, okay, we got to get our shit together because who we gonna lose is the black viewer. Real Housewives of Atlanta is not really giving shit. Y'all see that they're shaking up the cast. Luckily they got Portia and her drama coming back. Real Housewives of Potomac, they like, hold on. If Atlanta wasn't gonna do right, Potomac was gonna do right. And at this rate, it looked like Potomac might be hurting pockets. So Andy came on the stage and said, make up or somebody's gonna lose their job. So let's get into it. Yes, somebody is getting fired. Oh, hey Sam. I ain't seen you in a minute, girl. Thank you. Okay, cool. Let me grab my notes. All right. So I don't think I have like a ton, but let's just go with the flow. So for the introduction. Oh, let's start with the looks because I did not do a separate video. I want to talk to y'all about the looks. Is it like looks like LEWKS? Do y'all think they was giving looks or do y'all think they was just giving looks? Was they giving looks or looks? Okay. So I would have to say when the images of what the ladies were wearing first came out a couple weeks ago, my immediate thought was, oh my gosh, everybody showed up except Nneka. Everybody showed up except Nneka. This isn't a good picture of Gizelle because I almost want to say Gizelle looks a mess right here. There are like little things that everybody could change. I won't even say everybody. There's a little things that few people could change. And we'll go by one, and I'm going to tell y'all what I'm thinking. Ashley Darby. Ashley. Y'all, this is I would say the first season where I feel like Ashley is wearing something that's like flattering to her shape. I feel like majority of like y'all, I had a realization a couple nights ago. And y'all know I have a love-hate relationship with Ashley. I bring that up all the time. I don't care for Ashley, but I love Ashley for the show. Like like when it comes to somebody who could play the game real good, I love Ashley for the show. Either way it go, I'm saying that because I'm not talking down on her. I'm just saying a lot of times Ashley be looking top heavy, and then she's wearing these very tight things when I feel like she could give tight, she could give sexy, she could give almost naked, but give it in a way to where it like balances her out. And she rarely does that. This season, I think, is the first season where she did that. And the reason why, like, I know she did it and it's visible to me because you see she got this overlay around the dress that's making her look like she got some hips that she didn't have. Okay. Um, now the wig can go. The wig is given out the box. Out the box. And when I say out the box, I mean down to the local beauty supply store. Um, where the lace really ain't lacing. It looks good in this picture. Okay. In this picture, it looks good. But on the live, the wig, like the density was just a bit too much for me. I like the idea, but the wig could use some improvement. Other than that, Ashley, I think you definitely came. You look good, Ashley. You definitely showed up. You're not in the back of the pack. Okay, now Wendy. Wendy looks amazing. I love Wendy's dress. I love her necklace, the gloves. I hate the hair. I think the hair could have been different, and it might just be me, y'all, but I think that I'm over the wet look, the wet hair look. I'm not a fan of it. Candace, y'all, Candace is a little petite thing. And there was another season where she showed up to the reunion wearing a bob, and the bob completely took over her head and made her look like it made her head look so heavy. I think the color looked good on Candace. I think the dress looked good on Candace. Candace looked good. Hey, Sakina, I see you in the comments, girl. Okay. Mia looks good too. And one thing I will say, I think it was Mia's first or second season. I, like many other people, ate her the fuck up because of the way that she came for Wendy. Um, I did talk bad about Mia. I did because I didn't like the way she operated on the show. She did exactly what NECA is doing and what a lot of the women do on the show, which is trying to get by, in the good graces of the Green Eye Bandits. But let me circle back. The last episode of the season, when Mia was in the kitchen talking to G, Mia looked so good. Her skin looked so good. Face was glowing. She didn't have a ton of makeup on. Her skin looked like it was flexible. She looked good. So I'll have to say, I think Mia looked good right here too. Now, Karen, Grand Dame, nobody is touching her on this stage. Nobody is touching Karen on this stage. Y'all, when I seen Karen's look, like I was so lit. Like she told us she got a facelift. The face is lifted. The leg is toned. You got that pixie cut because you're serving face. Okay. It's not a flaw. You gonna let everybody see everything. You ain't got no bang, you know what? You are having it all on Front Street. You look good, Grand Dame. And it's crazy because sometimes, a lot of times, Karen be looking younger than Gizelle. By the dress, by the hair, by the body. It don't make no sense. Okay. Karen, you ate. Um, Now Giselle, y'all, I think she actually looked good too in the most basic way. This is not the best picture of Giselle's dress. I'm gonna give the lady credit where she can get credit because that's all the fuck she gonna get from me. Because I don't care for Giselle at all. But yeah, that's all I will say. Robin, your final reunion. Here we are. Here we are. Robin, seasons of, typically co-signing with Gizelle. Seasons of having your clown mask on, but wanting to turn up with the women and not turn up on your man. Here we are, Robin. Um, we made it to your final reunion. I will say this, Robin. I don't really care for Robin and Gizelle on the show, okay? I think Gizelle has to stay. She has to stay for the show, for the dynamic, right? But I'm glad that Robin's gone. Not because they're taking away this woman's check. It's just because I don't think Robin is good for the show, hasn't been good for the show for a long time. And I think that Robin is doing the thing that a lot of housewives should be doing, which is finding a way to make money off of this show, like tangible businesses. So Robin showed us that. I think Robin knew that that rainy day was coming. She probably was shaking in her motherfucking boots last season when it got exposed that she was hiding parts of her relationship with Juan, and like the, alleged infidelity. And this woman opened up a franchise on the season. You should, because the hats was not gonna be long term. Okay. So I really admire that about Robin. If you know you about to get the boot, go ahead and open up a business. They gave you a really long time to come up with an exit plan, and you did it. Candace, I think people are just surprised by Candace leaving because we don't know of any tangible businesses that Candace has opened. We know that she does tours, which to us, a lot of us can't comprehend because we're not hearing her music on the radio. No shade. I think that Candace is one of the better housewife singers, but it's just hard for people to comprehend that you are going to turn down a housewife's bag. So yeah, as far as Robin's look, I think Robin looked good. I think the dress had like some type of high-low thing, and I wish we could see the front of the dress in this picture. But yeah, she looked good overall. Nick, baby girl, it's your first season. It's your first season. Um, yeah, it's your first season, Nick. I will say that your foundation matches your neck. Um, so yeah. That's all I have for the looks. I think as a group, everybody showed up. Like y'all know I gave a little bit for each of the women, but I think that everybody showed up. Oh, okay. Taylor Ann said that Candace has her hair brand. I did not know that. That's what's up. All right. Time to get into the order of events. We start out with a powerful introduction. Andy starts out and he lets the ladies know that he's not playing games. He says, I think that it was a really tough season to watch. It was really frustrating to watch as a viewer. And, I want to know that you ladies are going to meet common ground. He was like, this show is all about making amends, finding a middle ground. And let's be for real. This show is not about finding a middle ground. Maybe if you were talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, every single episode they find a middle ground somehow. Okay. But this show right here, Andy, is not about finding a middle ground. What you're saying to us is all of you ladies are trying to ice each other out. I don't have time for it. Can we move forward? Do you want your check? Yes or no? So he goes around, he asks the question, and Karen, who is clearly in charge of the girls, Karen says, Andy, I have no doubt that these ladies can get it together. And everybody's kind of sitting there, and Andy goes one by one, like, Wendy, Candace, are you willing to do that today? And they all answer yes. Then he gets to Robin and Gizelle. They kind of sit there and they say, are you willing to do that? Gizelle, I'm in. I'm in. It's not really giving like we'll have a discussion, we'll get to a place where we can film. It's giving, if that's what you want me to do for my check, I'll do it for my check. So Andy off rip is like, I'm not playing games with you ladies. Okay. So y'all, this is how we know that this season was not giving anything, because the first topic that I have saved in my iPhone notes is swallowing. Swallowing. Yes. They really thought that one of the memorable moments on this show this season was the women sitting around talking about if they swallow swallow the children. That's what they talked about. One of the things that I thought was funny though of that was that Mia said that she actually has taken Robin's advice and she does swallow for her man. Um, but what's funny about that is because Mia is giving us Portia Williams better than Portia Williams was giving us Williams. Mia is giving, I left my husband. I'm in love with this man. This is my man. And you're saying this in front of your husband. Like, Mia, I don't know. It makes me, it's very interesting, but it makes me excited for the next season because this is the stuff that people want to see. We want to see people, be honest about their lives. We want to hear about the mess that's going on. So, yeah, shout out to Mia because next season it might be hers. Ooh, you know what? Okay. Y'all know me. I'm very skeptical. I don't want to give Mia too much. Y'all know that Mia's a liar. We've always known Mia to be a liar, right? And it's just kind of weird to me that we have three willing and active participants in this love triangle letting play out on TV. That rarely happens. I can't even think of a time. I can't think of a time when that happened. I mean, if we talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, we had Melody Martell and Ariane, who we didn't hear about on TV, but that was explosive. When we talk about Housewives of Atlanta, we had Portia, Simon, and Farron, but that didn't play out on TV all the way. That was explosive. In this show, we have three willing participants talking about this on TV and social media. We got G, Ink, and Mia. And that's odd. Something's not consistent here. So we know that not Gia, G and Mia got kicked out of the family business. They didn't have no money, allegedly. So I'm wondering, is this a scheme that Todd set up? Because knowing that this season was dry as fuck, and then we get the last episode of Mia, and we know that Mia is going to carry everybody on her back. Would that give her power for negotiation in the next season? And then would that potentially get them out of their financial ruin? Okay. Y'all tell me. I could be reaching. But I have to walk y'all through my thought process of, is this a scheme that she set up? Because she's a liar, okay? We can't trust her. But let's see. Adama says they all need the check. Cameron says, I think G is participating because he wants to be on TV just as much. For what though? For what? The check? And then just kicking it with Netta says, how that man think that's his baby, but didn't they do IVF? Mia's a liar. We don't know what they did. And yes, I honestly feel horrible for the kids. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a scheme. We'll see. Okay, so moving on from that, the first thing that we get into talking about is Juan. And oh yeah. Shout out to Keisha. Like the video, okay? Like the video for me, please. So the first thing that we get into talking about is Juan, and I really liked the flow of this reunion. Only because this is something we should have been talked about. We should have been talked about Juan in a very thorough manner. Even on that damn Watch What Happens Live, we didn't really talk about Juan that thoroughly. So my first note says you still got your clown mask on. Can I get a clown icon, a clown emoji in the comments? Can I get a little help here? Andy ends up asking Robin, do you still believe the things that Juan has told you? Juan told her that even though he met a girl at a hotel and paid for her room, he didn't have any sexual relations with that woman. He said that he simply was just helping out a friend who forgot her card. That's a lie. Well, I feel like it's a lie. He asked her, does she still believe that? And then he also asked her, the pictures came out that he was down to the laundromat with another very pretty, light-skinned coach. And people were speculating that maybe he was, in a relationship with this woman. Do you believe that, there was no foul play? And y'all, Robin decided to keep her clown mask on. She gonna stick beside him. She says, basically, I can't say for certain what anyone does, just like no one else can say So basically she's saying like, who knows? Maybe he did, but I have no choice to believe him, and that's what I'm gonna choose to do. And she clearly looked dumb. One of the things that I absolutely loved in response to Robin deciding to be legally blind was Wendy's response. Wendy's response was that even if you do believe him, your husband should have been here tonight because he should be taking some of those bullets for you. He should say, okay, maybe I didn't do anything, but I know that you're going to have to answer to my actions. So I'm going to show up. And he didn't do that. Andy definitely called it out. He doesn't have a basketball game. So where is he at? It was very much given Juan ain't got no job, Robin. So why is he not here? We're paying y'all. This is his job. Like Andy had so much smoke behind that he doesn't have a basketball game. He's in town. Why isn't he here? I was like, damn, Andy, go ahead and fire her on the spot, right? So yeah, that's what it was given. Hey Shantae. She says, now that's the part for me. We all want better for Robin. But Robin, like everybody but Robin. Yes, Andy literally said Juan has no income. Where's Juan? Okay. Um, so outside of that, Robin ends up saying, Juan has this weird thing where he likes to delete his messages. He doesn't like his phone being cluttered. Even further making herself look like a clown. I see you got your clown mask on like you always do. For those of y'all who love the clown mask thing, I have merch. Okay. Check out the link in the description. I see you got your clown mask on like you always do. Go ahead and check that out. Anyway, um, Candace, this gives us leeway to bridge into the Candace and Robin beef. Um, I feel like I have somewhat of a different opinion on this. I don't know what majority of people are saying, but I don't feel like I'm so much team Candace when it comes to the way that, Candace has handled her relationships on the show. Um, so Candace says that her issue with Robin is that she demanded for everyone to share their business on the show, but whenever it comes to you and Juan, you want to keep that in your back pocket. And basically, she feels like it was the plot. Um, Robin asked for an example of where she's demanded someone to share information about their lives, and she brought up the fact that Robin tried to expose Blue Eyes, who is the guy who, allegedly the guy who Karen goes with, okay, when she's not her husband. So Robin's point was that she brought it up after Karen brought up some dirt about Juan, but she never tried to force Karen's hand, which I think is fair, but okay. I feel multiple ways. Let's bullet point this out. I got to discuss this in bullet points. When it comes to the paternity test, I'm playing. I had to do that. Okay. When it comes to the situation of should Robin had brought up her um marriage issues on the show and Juan's potential infidelity that she knew about. 100% she should have brought that up on the show. Um I think that Candace is right in saying she should have brought that up on the show. Do I think that Robin was doing Candace any favors by disagreeing with Gizelle? No, not at all. Because guess what? I believe, just like Candace is saying, that Gizelle plotted against Candace and Chris and decided to make that be the storyline of the season. Gizelle plotted the same way she plotted against Monique and wanted to come out with rumors saying that Monique's, youngest child's father wasn't her husband, right? Y'all know about season 5. I think Gizelle sat down and said, I'm going to make it seem like Chris is a sneaky link. Let's all come on the show and make it seem like Chris is doing dirt against Candace. Nobody's going to tell me that Robin wasn't privy to that information. Instead of Robin courageously standing up for what's right, she thought she was doing Candace a favor by just disagreeing with Gizelle on the show. But what would have been even better is if you wouldn't have withheld your information. So you were aware of the plot. You allowed the plot to play out on the show, all while keeping your shit in your back pocket. So, yes, I understand why Candace is frustrated. I do. However, Like I've been saying to Wendy and Candace, season after season after season, Robin is not your friend. I don't know why y'all started out the season or last season saying that you missed your big sis. Robin is not your friend. The plots that go down that's usually led by Gizelle or played out by Gizelle and alley by Ashley. Robin is 100% complicit in what's going on. I don't know where y'all get off thinking that Robin is y'all's friend because Robin doesn't say anything. Um, so I don't understand how you can turn up on social media on somebody who has clearly done you wrong. My thing is this: turn up. I'm not saying that you don't turn up. Turn the fuck up, okay? Be mad at Robin, but keep that same energy all the way through and through. You can't throw a hissy fit, tell someone they should get fired from their job, accuse them of plotting, which I think they were, and then turn around and cry and say, I miss my sister. I want to be friends. Girl, what? At this point, I need you to draw the line. Like I said, Robin is not your friend, has never been your friend, and I need you to realize that and act accordingly. It's super weird when you throw these tantrums and then all of a sudden you expect somebody to apologize and be cool with you. The reality is Robin's not going to apologize because she's not your friend. Period. Okay? It's very complex. Oh, thank you, Necey D. They also plotted against Eddie. Yes, they did. It's very complex and there's multiple layers to this. I just need Candace to make it make sense. She's not your friend. You want to cuss her out on social media, cuss her out on social media, but what are you crying down to the reunion for, right? So, Candace pulls out her poster board and gets into Robin texting bloggers about the show. Y'all, to be honest, I wasn't even really 100% locked in on this. Apparently she was trying to expose that Robin was saying that she was irritated with Gizelle for something on the show. It didn't really matter. I wasn't locked in. Candace still thinks they conspired against her. So at this point, Andy's kind of just like, what do we need to move forward? And as soon as Andy says, what do we need to move forward? Candace starts crying. Now, on the other couch, we see the evil, Wicked Witch of the West, and she's sitting there saying, tears, tears, it's time for tears. Are we here for name calling? It's time for tears. And Gizelle is laughing at her. And the internet was in shambles about Gizelle laughing at Candace, and they felt like it was very mean girl of her. Um, yes, but for me, it was consistent. I don't like Gizelle. I don't fuck with Gizelle. But one thing I can agree with the Green Eyed Bandits on is you're not gonna cuss me out. You're not gonna, say you don't fool with me. You're not gonna say that, I did something that she really did. Um, and then all of a sudden cry and expect pity and expect these people to apologize to you. These people have showed you who they are, Candace. So I really didn't feel bad for Candace when Gizelle was laughing at her. I didn't, because I would have expected nothing less. And that's exactly what the fuck Candace should have expected as she was folding her triangle tissue. That's all it was. Um, let's see. Candace made Netta man. T says Giselle's nasty. Candace K says, I think she was crying because she can never win with these ladies. Yeah. Okay. I can agree with that. Candace did cry because she can never win with them. Yep, I agree. But it just don't make sense to me. Like, everyone has showed you their cards. Like, behave accordingly. I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Taylor Ann says, I have no issues with Candace being emotional, but she needs to not cry in front of people who don't deserve it. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, what is next? Robin says that she needs nothing from Candace to move forward. So Robin is done with the relationship. And as y'all know, I do feel like Robin is wrong, just as I feel like Candace is wrong. But yeah, let that shit die. I don't want to talk about it no more. Gizelle and Robin don't really need anything from Candace, where it seems like Candace is still waiting on somebody to apologize to her. That shit is wild to me. They showed you who they were. You showed your ass on social media. The only thing is you could do is keep that same energy. It was very much triggering because it was giving me Monique. It was giving me Monique. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, what are you talking about? It was giving Monique because Monique, you knew who the fuck was plotting against you in season 5. Yet you tried to outplot the plotters and you got mad at Candace and fought Candace instead of actually fighting the people you should have fought. You had a reason to get Bug. You didn't keep the energy that you should have kept with them. You tried to play nice with them. They showed you who they were. Believe them. Okay. So what's next? Okay. Back to Juan. Andy wants to ask Robin, what do you want the people to know about your marriage? And she basically says, we've been together for a long time. People go through shit. What do y'all go through, Robin? Because y'all ain't exposing none of it on the show. That's the only thing you're worth on the show. What do y'all go through? She says that they could make a whole, documentary on Juan Dixon's life. No, thank you. Juan Dixon has had 8 seasons to show up to the fucking reunion and give part of his life, and he has refused to do so. So I think we're all good on that on the documentary. One of the things that Ashley ended up saying was, "Are y'all happy?" And it reminded me of that's not conducive of a happy marriage, Robin. And it took me back, and I cackled. I cackled. She said it wasn't conducive of a happy marriage. So let's move on to talking about Karen the Peacemaker. But I just, said a whole mouthful talking about Juan Dixon. We have 173 people in the chat. So y'all go ahead and do me a favor and like the video. All right, so now we get into the Karen segment. I labeled this Karen Peacemaker. We talk about Gizelle having an issue with both Candace and Wendy. That's basically the flashback that we see of her like not communicating with them at all, trying to ice them out. We also see a flashback of the PAVE event, which is the women speaking up against sexual assault, which I think was a great episode. I would have been an even better episode in a great season, but I think the episode was necessary. So good. And we find out that Mia and Jacqueline are now friends. Now, let's get now that we're talking about sexual assault, y'all see how Bravo this is what's funny to me. Y'all see how Bravo seamlessly moved from the topic of sexual assault, then moving into the topic of Candace and Gizelle and Chris, while everybody on the stage said that she did not accuse him of sexual assault. Y'all have to understand the run of show is curated. I think y'all know that. Y'all watch the show just like I do. The run of show is curated. They felt like this flow of the show made sense. Yet, when Candace felt like Giselle's choice of words implied sexual assault, everyone on the stage disagreed. However, the people down at Bravo thought that this was the appropriate run of show. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah. Gizelle wants Candace held responsible for the death threats that her and her daughters have been receiving because she feels like Candace has said that she is colorist. Y'all, when Gizelle did that, I was kind of like, girl, go to sleep. Take a nap. Take a nap. Take a nap. To say that any of the women on this stage are responsible for you receiving any sort of death threat is ridiculous. Gizelle, nobody told you to come on the show and insert yourself in people's marriages. Nobody told you to do that. If you wouldn't have bought your ass on this show and decided to play this game of words with Chris, I don't think that people would have been, that's a lie. They would have been in your messages. Let me be for real. I will admit this. I don't think that the level of death threats that you received after the last season would have been where they were had you not decided to accuse this man of teetering the line of sexual assault. You know, I don't think so. So I just think that, everybody's playing these games and it just, It never ends, y'all. Like, just me thinking and really trying to unravel the plotations and the plots that's going on is just it's sickening and it's tiring. Because even with Gizelle trying to accuse or make Candace responsible for these death threats, that's another plot in itself. You know she's not responsible. To Candace's point, everybody on that stage has received some sort of death threat for one reason or another. You want to know why? Because people are crazy as fuck. Just like I told y'all, I ain't posting no picture of my baby. Okay? And I got a little bitty community. So to Candace's point, I think that everybody has experienced something. So she's not responsible for that. But that in itself is a plot. Now Andy has said a couple seasons ago that Candace was a mess on Twitter. I think Candace is tired of Candace. I think Andy is tired of Candace's mouth also. Because one of the things that Candace lacks is accountability. 9 times out of 10, Candace is not accountable for shit. Candace will turn the fuck up and then won't apologize and will cry and turn into a victim. I know that about my girl. I like Candace, but I know that about her. So moving from that situation, instead of saying, Gizelle, Candace is right, she's not responsible, he then says, well, Candace, didn't you like some tweets? And they start showing tweets that Candace has liked on Twitter. Y'all, just because Candace has liked tweets that are in, you know, I should say, what word am I looking for? Opposition of Gizelle. Just because Candace has liked tweets that's in opposition of Gizelle does not mean that she had encouraged anyone to send her death threats. And I'm like, okay, so here we go. This is where the gaslighting begins. I think this is what this is what I saw from Andy and from everybody else on the stage. Kind of like, we all want our check. Candace, we need some accountability. Shut up and keep it moving. Where I still felt like Gizelle had no accountability. Let's get into it. Robin ends up bringing up the rumor about Chris. Like, why? Why is you here in my Jocelyn Hernandez voice? Um, I don't know how Candace and Gizelle go from getting into it to Robin talking about, yeah. Oh, I know how. Candace mentioned the fact that they had discussed some things. Candace says that her liking tweets on Twitter is no different than them discussing things on their podcast. So Robin says something about, oh, your husband's limp penis. Those pictures came out online and you didn't address it. What are you going to do about that? Anybody in the Real Housewives universe, we know that those pictures were fake. Okay. Tasha K did an interview with some lady who came out and said that she was lying about actually sleeping with Chris. I knew it was a lie as soon as the pictures came out because the picture, there was like DMs or whatever saying that, they were talking online. And the reality is, anytime you send a picture on Instagram, it just does not look like that. It didn't make sense. It looked edited. Anybody with eyes and anybody who actively uses Instagram could have known that that was fake. So for Robin to bring that up after the lady had said that she lied again was another plot. It was another plot to make Candace look bad when at that point everything had already been resolved. Do y'all see how exhausting this is? This is so exhausting. Robin had that in her back pocket to bring it up to make it seem like Chris was cheating on Candace when it was already settled that the woman who did the interview with Tasha K sounded like she was high off her ass and she was lying. So I'm just like, I can't. I'm getting exhausted just talking about this shit, y'all. I'm so sorry. Um, Now let's get into Gizelle and Candace. Let's get into hold on, let me read this comment. Kimmy says, and then lied and said, but she retracted it. Wait, Kimmy, are you saying that the lady who talked to Tasha K said that she was lying and then came out and said, never mind, I'm telling the truth? Is that what it is? Not sure. Thank you so much, Miss Ann. I often forget about that. Let's remind the people, y'all. I'm very close to 15,000 subscribers. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, invite a friend so we can all be friends and we can keep having these conversations. Hey, California cutie, I saw you in the comments. Yup. Okay. Robin said that the lady oh, okay, okay, that's what you're saying. Robin said that the lady retracted it. Do you see what's comical about that part? So Robin brought it up, weaponized the rumor, even though she knew it was fake, and then waited until somebody else said it was retracted, and then said yes, but she retracted it. Somebody need to get fired. Somebody's getting fired. Um, okay, somebody's getting fired. So let's get into it even more. Candace and Gizelle, y'all, we about in the last quarter of this review. We in the last quarter of this review, and we're gonna get into Candace and Gizelle a little bit deeper. So Gizelle claims that she apologized. And they show the clip. She apologized. I remember her saying, "Well, I apologized for it." And everybody last season, everybody was like, "Apologize is not an apology." I remember that. But they show a clip of her saying, "I apologize to you, Chris." Now they end up asking NECA. Well, what's funny is Andy says, "Wendy, do you think the words that Gizelle used implied sexual assault?" And Wendy says, "Well, Andy." Gizelle says, "NECA's the lawyer." Basically, like, you're asking the wrong person. Ask the person that's on my team. You're asking Wendy, and I know that Wendy's going to say something favorable to Candace. So ask the person on my team. Y'all, this is such like a mind fuck, and this is such a game of like offense, defense. I'm laughing because friends, y'all know my husband, Ted. Whenever I talk to him about this YouTube stuff and he watches the shows, y'all, he basically describes what we do as like waking up in the morning, y'all, the episode go off and we on here and it's like first take. We talking about the game, we talking about the plays, and I never agreed more because what we saw on Sunday was a bunch of plays, bunch of plots, a bunch of offense, defense. And that was clearly what I saw when Andy got ready to ask Wendy, was it sexual assault? And Gizelle jumped in really quick and said, "Well, Nick's the lawyer. Ask the one who's on my team. Ask the one who I recruited to come on the show and do what I need her to do." That's very much what it was given. So NECA, she says, "No, it doesn't sound like that doesn't amount to sexual assault to me." Now, the thing that they're arguing back and forth about is Candace's point is that Gizelle said on the show, "Chris made me go to a hotel room." Gizelle is arguing, saying, "I never said he made me. I said he asked me." Now, I think everybody who watched the season was under the impression that Chris was making Gizelle uncomfortable by overstepping his boundaries. A lot of times as a woman, in the way that you had framed the story, Gizelle, that's very much given sexual assault. That was my impression. Now, one of the things that I got really upset about was they were able to successfully gaslight Candace during this conversation. Gizelle says, "When did I accuse him of sexual assault?" Candace says, "Well, you said made me." Candace, you didn't go you didn't go back to Housewives boot camp. You don't need to, Candace, because you really are top tier. But I think you need a Housewives agent. Candace, I think you need to consult with someone like me. You need to consult with people who watch the show and remember exactly what the fuck happened. Because your biggest weapon that you forgot to discuss because they successfully gaslit you was Gizelle did accuse him of sexual assault. She accused him of squeezing Ashley's friend's butt on the bus after y'all left the winery last season. So if Gizelle herself wasn't doing enough for like if your point of what Gizelle said wasn't enough for them to say, "Okay, the proof is here. I can't argue anymore. I can't gaslight her anymore." She did. And Bravo had the fucking tapes. Y'all have the tapes of her accusing him of sexual assault. Yet everybody sat on stage, listening to actively misunderstand. They actively misunderstood what Candace said. And at that point, they felt like they were talking in circles. Even her good old friend, Wendy, jumped in and said, "I think we need to find a common ground." Candace, what do you think you can do? Now, Wendy, I know you were probably coming from a place of friend. we need our check, and we're gonna get in trouble. So let's act right. But I think Candace did the right thing. When it comes to discussing anybody's family like that, I would stand on business. And I think that Candace was trying to stand on business, which was, you did accuse her husband of sexual assault. He never sexually assaulted you. You admitted that on the show. You tiptoed around those words. You used language to weaponize things. And I think that Candace's tweet was 100% right. What you did was foul as fuck. Gizelle, you go to an event trying to support women who are sexual assault survivors, which is a real thing, while plotting on the show and implying that this man sexually assaulted you when you know he didn't, just for the sake of making good TV, just for the sake of being bitter. So where's the lie? Candace's tweet was not a lie, but everybody wanted to gaslight her into saying that she did something wrong. And it was that moment that I felt like Candace was like, all right, I'm gonna head out. And I'm not mad at it. I think that Candace has been a huge part of the show. Candace has been shaking the table ever since she hopped in the back of that bus and called Sharice a bitch. Um, I'm not a Candace stan, but I think that Candace is, important on the show. Because take Candace away, take Robin away, Gizelle, who are you going to who are you going to come after? What family are you going to try to tear apart? Is it Wendy? I have no idea. Honestly, next season, y'all, I wouldn't be surprised if the next season is trash too, because I think that Gizelle may be operating out of fear. Her right hand man won't be there, Robin, to stir shit up. And she also is going to be fear based of, I can't repeat the same shit I've been doing because the outcome gets me nowhere. And without Candace on the show, who's super emotional and sometimes too vulnerable, who are y'all gonna argue with? We gonna see. Candace, take the show with you when you leave, okay? So Candace ends up, she gets tired of fighting, and she says that she apologizes for the words that she used. Example, white looking ass. And she says she's sorry that Gizelle gets death threats, but it's not her fault. Fair apology. Robin and Karen have a little spit spat. Karen eats her up real quick and says, 1 minute you're putting out a boombox on the table, and the next minute you sitting on a curb crying. Just one of them days. So yeah, that was cute. And then at the end of the show, we end with Mia on FaceTime with her boyfriend Ink, while G is in the room, and they're all getting together like one big happy family, which is why I'm kind of like, is this a scheme that they set up? I have no idea. But they also leave that big cliffhanger of, is Jeremiah Ink's or is he Gordon's? We'll have to see. So overall, y'all, I think the reunion was good. But as a viewer, y'all, this shit has been mentally exhausting to break down. And I absolutely, not just a viewer, as a reviewer, someone who talks about the show on YouTube, it has been mentally exhausting to break down. And you see how the show gaslights people. You see how the women gaslight each other on the show. You see how they try to ice each other out. And it's just taxing. It really is. So to hear Mia's storyline at the end of the season and know that next episode we're gonna get into some drama that appears to be pure. I'm excited. I'm excited because this season after season, one thing spiraling into the next, and we still talking about shit from 2 seasons ago because nobody's admitting that they're wrong, is wild. And that the boss is not holding anybody accountable. Y'all, I just wanted Andy to have a little bit of base with Gizelle. And I felt like anytime he was addressing Gizelle, he was addressing the group. Anytime he was addressing Candace, he was addressing Candace, if y'all understand where I'm coming from. So let me read a couple of the comments because we about to roll out. So let me read a couple of these comments. I see some more of y'all came. Set your notifications, okay, friends, so we can get started. Kimmy says it was insinuated. Yes, it was. What else? Did I miss something? Hey, Ranting with Ricardo. Mm, let's see. Taylor Ann says, if I was Candace, I would have come with clips from last season and played them like lie again. Yeah, exactly. Um, Gigi, hey girl, she says Wendy tries playing for the politics of it all and it comes across as lack of defending. Yeah, very true, very true. Um, where else? Candidly K says it was implied and left up to interpretation, like Karen said. Very true. Hey Barb. Where we at? Where we at? Mm-hmm. And for the next season, Soulful Dog says they would need new women who are solid enough to stand against her, yet still have fun, yet still be fun. Very true. Candace brings the funny read, so I will definitely miss that. Yeah, we down to the funeral. Um, what else? Necey D, she says, in my opinion, Mia should have never brought up the paternity of her son. I don't think Mia brought that up. Didn't Gordon bring that up in the last episode? Oh, I guess not. Because D just, repeated what Niecy D says. In my opinion, Mia is trash for questioning her son's paternity on national television when he thinks G is his dad. Facts. So sick of her. I only watched 2 episodes and won't watch the new season. Well, the other thing Mia did, remember, the other thing because as excited as I am about this storyline, I still don't fuck with Mia. Remember, she brought her mama on the show, talked about her mama being a drug addict, and then try to flip it around and say that, you're using this against me, and then something along the lines of she brought up her son's learning disability on TV when she didn't have to. I think Wendy had said that Mia was dumb. And then all of a sudden, in order to gain sympathy from people, you put your son's business out there. Girl, it ain't nobody business. So I feel you on that, D, 100%. Especially if it's not a pure storyline that you would have brought up on your own. It would have been great if you wanted to bring awareness to his storyline, show his strength and resiliency in that, but you didn't do that. Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Y'all, that's all I have for Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't know what other shows are coming on this week, but Ooh Ladies First panel is coming back, y'all. Another Thursday. We got me, Bondi, Jamie. We will be over on Bondi's channel on Thursday. So make sure you subscribe to all our channels, but turn on your notifications over at Bondi's this Thursday because we're going to go live. We're going to talk about the shows, talk about the things that we saw on social media. Okay. So I hope y'all liked the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with friends so we can all be friends. And I will see y'all in the next video. Oop, bye.